Alright, what's going on, guys? FaZe Censor Martian here. Hope you guys are having a great day, and today we're going to be doing a Q&A. I asked you guys to ask me questions on Twitter using the hashtag #FaZeCensor. I've been doing these a lot more often recently just because you guys really seem to enjoy them, and I like to make them as well, so let's just get right into it. If you could bring anyone back from the dead to ask a single question, who would you bring back, and what would you ask them? This question's tough. If I had to pick one person from the dead, I'd probably have to go with Tupac, and I'd probably ask him how he died. So I'd bring him back to life, and then I'd ask him how he died. Just because I want to know the conspiracy, and I want to know the truth. What are your chances of survival if you were drafted for the Hunger Games? I'd win the Hunger Games. Flat out. I'd definitely win. I have this drive inside of me, and I always think about this thought. Like, I've actually thought about that before. What if I was on the Hunger Games? What if I was on Survivor? What if it was like me versus one other person? I always have that mentality in my head, like, it's me versus myself, and then if there's somebody else I gotta beat, it's gonna be me versus myself, and I gotta push myself harder than that person, and I always think that I'd be able to come out on top. So if I was in the Hunger Games and I'm gonna die if I don't win, I'm gonna win by any means necessary. What is your favorite food, and when will you and Yannette be living together if you are going to be? Favorite food, chicken parmesan, hero. Hands down, without a doubt, best food in the world. And this is actually something I've been speaking about with Yannette for a long time. We're probably going to be moving in together sometime next year. I get a lot of questions about that, you know, what's going to happen with your relationship. It's a long distance relationship, and I try to keep some certain things private, but this is something that we've been talking about for a while now. Probably next year around February, maybe March, we'll be moving in together, probably near my house right now and get an apartment. Mom, I know you're watching this right now. I never told you this yet. Surprise! I don't know when it's gonna happen, but probably in the future. She wants to be able to learn English and come over here and just brighten up her English a little bit, because it's gonna be really important for her job and her career moving forward. What's your biggest pet peeve? 100% not having a clean room. Like, look, watch this right here. You guys see this right now? Look at this. All my shoes are in order, okay? I got every single pair of shoes in order. I got my gym bag. I got my razor mic I still haven't even opened. I got a globe. My bed's nice and organized, neatly made. I got all my trophies set up. I got all my deodorant, my cologne, my hair stuff, my shaving stuff, everything. I got the Call of Duty Ghost. This, everything is just, look, even all this, down to the T, even under my bed, in my closet, everything is in order because I'm a neat freak and I do not like when things are neat. That's the one thing. I remember when Yannette came here to my house and she was living with me for a week, that was the one thing that just got under my skin. I just don't like seeing things out of order, out of place. I like everything to be neat at all times. I vacuum my room every day. I clean the monitors. I clean my windows. I just want everything to be neat. I'm a super, super neat freak, and I think I get that from my dad. So that's definitely my biggest pet peeve. Are you going to live in the new FaZe house? I get this question a lot. Everyone's always wanted to know if I'm going to be moving in with them. If they asked me to move in with them, I'd want to say yes. I'd want to do it. I'd want to go out to LA. I'd want to be able to experience that. I want to be hanging out with all of them a lot more. Every time I go to the FaZe house, it's a blast. We obviously help each other a lot with YouTube and our growth, so that's also super important, especially with what I do personally with my job. But right now in my life, I don't think that's going to happen. First of all, I never even got asked, and I'm not going to ask to, you know, move in. Hey guys, let me move in with you. It's not how it really works. Usually you have them ask you. So if they did ask me, I'd definitely consider it strongly. I'd want to probably do it because I want to move out. You know, whether I'm with my girlfriend on Long Island, whether I'm going to California with FaZe, I want to be able to move out of my house soon. I kind of touched on that in my last prank video, but as of right now, I'm most likely not going to be moving in. What's your favorite moments with Yannette? I think the best moment that I had with her was probably the first time I went to Mexico. The very first time I kissed her when we went out to a dinner. I remember I got off the plane. She was sitting right outside of the airport, right outside of the customs, the immigration where I walked through, standing there just waiting for me. It was super awkward. We went out to this really nice dinner, like on a lake or something, or on like a water, and we had some dinner. It was a really good moment. I kissed her for the first time. That whole trip was really fun, but I think Cancun was one of the best times. Disney was also a lot of fun too, just because it was her first time experiencing it, and she's an absolute fiend for Disney. So there's a lot of really great moments we had. I have a really unique case. You know, I don't think there's anyone else in the world that went through what I did with her and how I met her. But it's definitely one of those things that I'm going to cherish for a long time, no matter what's going to happen in the future. She's really sweet, she's really down to earth, and over time I grew a lot more attached to her than, you know, when I first met her, it was only I was infatuated with her looks, but then you realize the type of person people are, and she's a really loyal person, really humble, and she's just a positive person. She's a lot like me in a girl form, except for the fact that she's so messy and she just leaves everything over my room. It makes me want to, I hate it. Would you rather win COD champs 2 times and retire, or never win champs but you can win others and continue to compete? So a part of me wants to compete all the time because I just love playing competitive Call of Duty, but if I win champs, you bet your ass I'm going to be retiring. If I could win it twice, like what? If I could either win it twice or just win other tournaments, like random ones, and compete. I've already won 4 times in my career. I've won big tournaments, I've won average, decent sized tournaments. I've won a lot of big tournaments where all the good teams are out there. But Call of Duty Champs, if I could win that, that would be the icing on the cake. And if I could win it twice, without a doubt, I'd pick that. DJ Tellem asks, where did the name Censor come from? So I don't even need to tell you guys because the next comment was from Keegan. He goes, his name is Doug Censor Martian. It's his middle name. So if you guys didn't know, obviously my middle name's Censor, and that's where it really came from. Were you ever picked on in middle or high school? Define pick on. I mean, I wasn't that kid who would just constantly get bullied all the time in school, but I had my moments where people would pick on me for certain things, and I also had my moments where people would really grow attached to me just for certain things that would happen. Like, if I said some sort of a joke or some sort of a story, a lot of people would gain respect for me. And then there was also times where I was just like really quiet and conserved into myself and just socially awkward because of how much Call of Duty and how many video games I would play. I'd say it was in the middle. Sometimes I'd have a lot of love, sometimes I'd have a lot of hate. I had certain people bullying me throughout high school at certain times, but I just didn't really care enough about it because I knew eventually those people wouldn't really be in my life, and I grew out of that awkward stage and I started to understand how to communicate with people and socialize. So if you're one of those people right now who don't understand, because there was a point in my life where I couldn't even like formulate sentences socially with people, and now I'm always doing that. And I think I just had this really dark time where I felt nothing was gonna get better, but I always knew at the end of the light, or at the end of the tunnel, there was gonna be a light, and eventually things get better. So if you're one of those people right now, just keep a good head on your shoulders, keep your head up, things are gonna get better, and just don't resort to doing anything stupid. What's a random childhood memory you remember with your family? Alright, so this is a crazy story. I could have probably made this into a video itself, but basically, long story short, I believe this is like the first thing I can remember in my life. I was 3 years old. I was living in my apartment with my mom and my sister, and I think my dad at the time, or my mom's boyfriend at the time. I think my parents just got divorced, and we had these two black labs, these two dogs called Scooch and Scooter, and they were like the worst dogs. They would literally take dumps over the house and roll their bodies in them and then just run over certain things in the house. So I remember they were just the worst dogs ever, and I had spaghetti for the first time in my life. I remember throwing it up all over the table, and then I went over to the side of the kitchen where there was a door to the basement, and for whatever reason the dog, I think it was Scooter, he pushed me down the basement stairs, like, and I was going head first, and I still remember this vividly. This is the first thing I remember. I just fell down on these basement steps. There were like these spiral steps going down, and they were concrete steps, and my mom grabbed me by my ankle and pulled me back up. And if my mom didn't do that, I would have cracked my head open, and I'd probably have some sort of brain damage, or I'd be in a coma. I just wouldn't be the same person today. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but my mom probably saved my life that day, so thank you, Mom. Would you rather be the strength of Blaziken or the height of Apex? This is a no-brainer. You see Blaziken pushing people out here? This dude's insane. Ah! Before Call of Duty, did you ever consider doing something else? In my mind, I am 100% confident that if I did not choose to be a professional Call of Duty player, I would have ended up going to a really good school. I would have went to an average school in college, and then I would have tried to get into a Villanova or like a University of Delaware, and I would have been playing college football because I wanted to go to the NFL so bad. But then I realized that I was good at Call of Duty, and I wanted to stick with this because I loved it a lot, and I knew that I had a future with it, and it was guaranteed, and I just thought it would be stupid for me to not go down this path. But that's what I always wanted to do in my life. Alright guys, that's it for the Q&A. I hope you guys all enjoyed. I'm probably going to do another Q&A with Yanette when she comes here. I'm going to try to make that as funny as I possibly can and as unique as I possibly can, because I don't think anyone's ever done a Q&A with 2 different languages in one video. So if you guys are excited for that, if you do want to see that, drop a thumbs up on this video and comment down below if you guys want to see that. Hope you all have a great day. It's been your boy Doug Censor, and I'm out, guys. Peace.